Welcome to week 5 of the Eric Avisar Show, NFL prediction time. I'm going to give you my picks for the week. Many interesting matchups in the NFL this week. I'm really looking forward to Sunday's action. I got my picks started off by correctly calling the Arizona Cardinals to take down the San Francisco 49ers. So let me get started with Sunday's action. Texans at the Vikings. Now, I really cannot pick against Minnesota at this point in the season. Their defense is truly unbelievable. I mean, they make every offense they go up against look horrendous. It's just, maybe it's like the Purple People Eaters all over again. I don't know what it is, but my goodness, from top to bottom, easily the best defense in the NFL. Brock Osweiler does not impress me much. And, he's not going to have, in all likelihood, Dwayne Brown protecting him. Sam Bradford's been a success at Minnesota way sooner than people could have expected. Give me the Vikings to win, and winning at home, too. The Titans travel to take on the Dolphins. Both teams struggle to cover the pass, and I like Marcus Mariota much more than Ryan Tannehill. Tannehill is fool's gold. He's just not really going to make it as an NFL quarterback, I think. So, DeMarco Murray, I think he will have a big day running the ball, and the Dolphins are going to struggle without Brandon Albert and Pouncey to protect Ryan Tannehill as well. So Titans should be able to get a little bit more pressure out there, taking the Titans to win on the road. Now, Patriots traveling to take on the Browns. The bettors smell blood in the water. One of the gaudiest betting lines you'll see in the NFL this season. The Patriots favored by 11.5 points. People have been talking about Tom Brady returning with a vengeance from his 4-game suspension. And I meant to say vengeance. He has a delectable matchup here. So even if Brady comes back somehow being rusty, which is hard to imagine after what a career he's had, LeGarrette Blount is going to be able to trample the Cleveland Browns just like Matt Jones did last week. Cody Kessler is limited physically, not going to be able to move the ball downfield much. Really, their only hope is hoping Duke Johnson can play the game of his life, catching passes out of the backfield. Picking the Patriots to win big on the road. Jets traveling to take on the Steelers. Welcome to my upset special pick of the week. The Steelers are going to probably be able to clamp down on Matt Forte. However, Forte finds ways to get it done so far this year, both carrying the ball and catching passes. The Jets need this win a lot more than the Steelers do. And I think Darrelle Revis, who has been struggling so far this season, is going to pick it up. He's the type of guy who wants to rise to the occasion, and he has to go up against the best wide receiver in the NFL with Antonio Brown. I think he'll be able to slow him down. You can't really contain a talent like Brown, but can slow him down enough to give the Jets a shot here. I'm taking the Jets just off of a gut instinct to win on the road over the Steelers. Redskins at Ravens in M&T Bank Stadium. The Skins secondary beyond Josh Norman is really thin now that D'Angelo Hall's out for the season. And, Joe Flacco, it seems so rarely does he have a legitimate wide receiving core to throw to. This year he does. He has options, and I think those options are going to benefit him well. I think Mike Wallace and Steve Smith are both going to have big days, so I'm taking the Ravens to win at home. Eagles, one of the last two undefeated teams left, are coming off a bye, and they're traveling to take on what seemed to be a sorry Detroit Lions team. I think they're going to be able to run and throw the ball well. Carson Wentz has had a wonderful rookie season thus far, and even though Marvin Jones will probably be able to have a big day for the Lions, it's not going to be enough. The Eagles are going to win, and they're going to win on the road. This, as you might start picking up on, is a common theme this week. Picking road teams to win. Another road team I'm going to pick is the Chicago Bears traveling to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Really, this could be a year in which Andrew Luck wears down. It's going to be so hard for him to stay healthy when he has such a horrific offensive line. Can't protect him. Can't really block for Frank Gore much either. And, Jordan Howard had a great week last week, the rookie running back for the Chicago Bears. I think he's going to have another great week. And, the Colts probably have the worst defense in the NFL. So even at home, I'm going to take the Bears to win over the Colts. Now, the Falcons traveling to take on the Denver Broncos. There are a number of factors going against Denver. The first one that comes to mind is that Trevor Siemian got knocked out last week, their starting quarterback, and the Broncos are coming off of 2 successive East Coast trips. And after this game, they're going to be playing on Thursday night. However, Atlanta's run defense is porous, and C.J. Anderson has had a nice start to the season. So I think the Broncos are going to be able to withstand the aerial attack that Matt Ryan's going to bring with the Falcons. It's going to be close. It's going to be high scoring, so I'm taking the Broncos to win. A real nail biter in this one. Now, Bills traveling to take on the Los Angeles Rams. This game could be the ugliest game of the week. The Rams defense is very strong so far. It's really hard to imagine Buffalo putting up many points. Sammy Watkins has had so many injury issues, and Robert Woods doesn't seem like a legitimate number 1 wide receiver. Todd Gurley is generational talent, truly wonderful player, but he's really struggled thus far this season just because his offensive line can't really block for him. And, Marcel Darius returning into the Bills lineup does not help matters either. However, the Rams defense, I think, is going to pull this one out. It certainly helps that they're playing at home. The Bills have to travel out to the West Coast. They'll feel like they're playing at 10 a.m. So I'm taking the LA Rams to win in a defensive struggle. Now, the San Diego Chargers are traveling to take on the Raiders. I think it would be fair to say, at least you could argue, that no team has been hit by the injury bug worse than the San Diego Chargers. They're missing Keenan Allen, Danny Woodhead, and Antonio Gates, along with 2 offensive linemen. So, really, it's just seems like a team that's falling apart at the seams. On the other hand, Derek Carr is quietly emerging as one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. He is on track for an all-pro season. Love his poise, love the way he throws the ball downfield. Just a terrific player. Oakland's not going to be able to run the ball much in all likelihood, but it doesn't really matter because Derek Carr is going to get it done through the air. So I'm taking the Raiders to win at home. Now for the Bengals traveling to take on the Cowboys, Vontez Burfict, their middle linebacker, had a nice return from his suspension. Conversely, DeMarcus Lawrence returns for the Cowboys off of a suspension of his own. I think this will be a pretty close game. And, Dak Prescott, I think, will continue to excel. But Jeremy Hill, I think, is poised to bounce back this week, have a big day. So I'm going to take the Bengals to win this one on the road. So, Sunday night action, the Giants traveling to take on the Green Bay Packers. Eddie Lacy's not going to be able to run the ball well. The New York Giants defensive line is very stout. Just a huge defensive line the Giants will bring into Lambeau Field. And Aaron Rodgers seems like he hasn't really been himself since the beginning of last season. Of course, he's had his flashes of spectacular moments, because he's just an elite NFL quarterback. But you wonder, when is he going to get it together? I think the Giants are going to get a lot of pressure on him. And the Giants are also going to rally around Odell Beckham Jr. Much has been made over his comments this week saying, football's not fun anymore. Well, it's going to be time for Beckham to start growing up, and he has a good matchup to come into his own here. So I'm taking the Giants to win on the road Sunday night at the Packers. Monday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to take on the Carolina Panthers. There's a lot of mystery surrounding this game. We're not sure who's going to start at quarterback for the Panthers, whether it's going to be Cam Newton, who's been dealing with, it seems, some concussion issues, and Derek Anderson. It seems like he's been around the league forever. So, that's going to play a major factor, obviously, how the game plays out. But for the Buccaneers, big problems for them. Gerald McCoy and Noah Spencer likely out, and Robert Ayers is a question mark as well. So the Bucs could really have a weak defensive line they're fielding out there. So, both teams having weak secondaries, having respective issues. I think it'll be a pretty high-scoring game. And I'm going to pick the Panthers here to win at home in this one. So with that, I leave you with my NFL Week 5 picks.